Well, I'm back at it again. Treadmill in the morning. Not too late. It's about 7:15. I should say first, good morning to you. I always hesitate to say that because you might be listening to this in the afternoon or at night even if you're a night owl. But nonetheless, it's morning my time, so good morning to you. Well, we've reached it. We've reached the day where I feel tired. I slept terribly. I woke up probably 6 times throughout the night. Had a lot of dreams. Hot. Not sweating, but just hot. And, the temperature's not hotter than normal in the house nor outside. In fact, it's cooler than it's been outside. But nonetheless hot. So most women at some point will know exactly what that feels like. So I think that's the issue. I think it's just hormones messing up my sleep and my hottitude. But back here on the treadmill, nonetheless, I do have a bit of a headache on the left that started yesterday. I think allergies to what? Who knows? Something. But it's not enough to take any medicine for it. It's just bothersome. It's sort of like a tightness in the left of my head and going down into my jaw, which not my jaw, my upper tooth area. And as I say that out loud, I think, oh crap, I think that might be a symptom of a heart attack. Don't think that's happening, but I'll pay attention since I do have heart issues in my family at young ages, not too far off from mine. Nonetheless, I think I'm fine. So I'm here on the treadmill, going to do my normal 1 hour at 2.5 miles per hour. I think that, at some point somewhat soon that will change. Not this week. I just have to get certain things done in my life and in my business before I can stop working at the computer. I think I'll still use the treadmill desk to do things like finances. Like I like to check my finances every morning, log in, make sure everything's cool, see, what charges have come through, what checks have hit, blah, blah, blah. That's a great thing to do at my treadmill desk. Also online shopping, which, when I say that out loud, it sounds like I'm shopping for frocks. But no, just, the normal stuff. I order stuff from Target to be able to pick it up at their customer service desk. I don't really do online grocery shopping because I like to shop at Trader Joe's. So they don't really have online shopping, and that's fine. I don't know. It's not that big a deal. So I like to do that. But there's always something to shop for. My daughter's birthday is coming up, and so I'm trying to find some stuff for her. There's always something to buy. I was going to say that you need, I guess we don't need much more than shelter and clothing and food, but, just stuff for my business that I need to buy, stuff for life, that just needs to be replenished. So, all that said, sorry the energy's down a little bit. Like I said, not feeling awesome, not feeling bad. I mean, probably feeling like a normal 50-year-old feels, on every third day of their life anyway, 50-year-old woman at least. So, but nonetheless, here on the treadmill, here with you, we're together, we're on this journey. It's going to be a good one. It is a good one already. It's sort of dumb to expect that every day, which I don't expect that every day is going to be the same and good. Honestly, I think if there's any part of my life that I thought that, it was just because I was living in a delusion of ignorance at the time, probably in my 20s, I'm sure. But, I always like to think of long-term changes as like a pebble, putting a pebble in a bucket. So every time I do this workout, or every time I used to go to the gym, or, whatever the case may be, every time I'm trying to watch what I'm eating and I get through a successful, day in terms of hitting the number of calories I wanted to hit, and we'll talk about that in a minute, it's like putting a pebble in a bucket. It seems relatively meaningless when you do it, but ultimately that bucket is going to be filled up. If you keep putting pebbles in every single time you do it, even if it's not every day, even if it's every other day, every third day, whatever habit you're trying to instill, it doesn't have to be every day. Make it whatever schedule. Again, the key is make the commitment and stick to the commitment. It doesn't matter how small the commitment is or how infrequent. It's just something that you can stick to, and that is better than you were before you started that habit. That's it, right? So pebble in the bucket, ultimately the bucket gets filled up with pebbles. You can't, it's not an infinity bucket that never can be filled. It's a bucket. It's a pebble. Today, I'm putting my pebble in the bucket, and tomorrow I'll put my pebble in the bucket, and the next day, and the next day, and the next day. And you will too. And ultimately, we'll have a full bucket. I think a big mental shift that I've made since going through, this past decade, is long-term results. Like, I'm not expecting anything really from the short term. I'm just saying, hey, you know what? In a year from now, I'm going to be stronger. I'm going to be more fit cardiovascularly. I'm going to be more flexible. I'm going to have better balance. I'm going to have, a better quality of life because I have experienced in my life when you work out, you really do feel better. I shouldn't say work out even, when you exercise, when you move, of whatever sort, you do feel better ultimately. It might not feel great at the beginning, because it's something new, like even making my commitment to stand for 8 hours a day. My back hurt because in the moment it didn't hurt like afterward, but it hurt while I was doing it because I wasn't used to standing and having good posture. I was sitting all the time. And so once I started doing it, that hurt for a while, but like somewhere, I don't even know where, wish I could tell you, but somewhere, maybe around the month mark, I don't even notice my back. It's really not a big deal to stand 8 hours a day, and I have much better posture, and I love that. I know it sounds stupid, but when I used to work out at the gym, I'd really, at least during that period of time that I was there, be cognizant of my posture. And ultimately, as I built up my back muscles and my core muscles, and focused on improving my posture, even though it was just during that hour, my posture improved. And I don't know, I just love that. It makes me feel better. It's not even how I look or any particular pain that I have. It's just like I feel better having my shoulders back. And it's not the same thing of just pulling them back, if you say stand up straight and you pull your shoulders back and your shoulder blades together. It's sort of like a seating of my shoulder blades being back and down. It just feels good. I think, honestly, it's probably because my midsection, I want to say my chest, but below my chest too, my torso isn't folded down on itself, and not fat, just like crumpled, it's probably just the feeling of having it pulled back opens me up. And I'm not even saying with breathing, really, it doesn't help with breathing, although it probably does. If you're having trouble breathing, it probably would help a lot to be able to open up your chest area so you're not compressing it. But it just feels better. There's just the net is there's no negative aspects of working out or exercising or moving at a reasonable rate for you. There is no downside, right? We're not talking about exercising so you're so sore you can't move the next day. Just normal body movement versus body being sedentary. Zero downside. Obviously, if you have an injury or some sort of health condition that puts limitations on that, you need to talk with a doctor or other medical professional, trained and certified, accredited medical professional that can tell you what kinds of things that you can or can't or should or shouldn't do with your condition or your circumstance. But there's got to be something you can do, right? And so there's really no downside to it. So here I am again, of course, on the treadmill. I'm going to keep on going, going to get to my hour, gonna start my day. I might end up taking something for this headache because it sort of is bothering me a little bit. We'll see. I honestly, part of it's allergies for sure, because I felt it yesterday afternoon. But I also ate a bunch of potato chips yesterday at nighttime when I could have just gone to bed, because I did it right before bed. And they were very salty, and I didn't drink much water. So that's part of it. Water's going to be my next thing. I know it sounds dumb to a lot of people, but I just don't drink enough water. I've gone through phases of making that a high priority, but right now it's not. So part of it's that. It's probably dehydration in my brain. I know it's not just that, because it happened yesterday, like I said, in the afternoon after I'd been outside. So something in the environment. But anywho, it's definitely, allergies are definitely connected to my hormonal headaches that I get every month, the migraines, for sure. So it's probably something to do with my hormones too. Who knows? All I know is it might require an Advil or two. And if it does, it does. If I get into work and I am able to forget about it, I'll just not take anything for it. Because I do fall on the side of, hey, the less medicine, the better. However, if it's something that's distracting you from getting your work done or living your life, 2 Advil is not going to kill me. So that's my day. I'm going to do this 60 minutes. I'm going to get some work done, some good work done. I've got a good plan for the day. Have my iced coffee next to me. As you all know, it's decaf, because I like to, as long as I can in my life, I'm going to try to run on my own power versus relying on caffeine to wake me up. I do drink Diet Coke right now. That has caffeine, but I can't remember the numbers. It's like you can drink 4 Diet Cokes, which either 3 or 4. I want to say 4, which has the equivalent of 1 cup of coffee of caffeine. So it's really not that significant. And if I drink 4, I usually drink 3 or 4 a day. Right now, that too will be a thing that changes at some point, because I've given that up before too. And when I do, I'm like, oh, that wasn't a big deal. But honestly, it's my go-to medication. I mean, I just sort of rely on it. I don't know, it's a stress relief. It's, maybe just the caffeine. But it's, who knows how bad it is for me, but it's one of those things that is not as bad as other things can be, let's put it that way. But in terms of being healthy, I do know that when I feel fully in control of my life and things are going good, I really don't give a crap about Diet Coke. And when things are going bad or stressful, I drink Diet Coke. So there you go, I medicate with it. Anywho, we'll talk about that again one day, but caffeine, that's the caffeine I have, basically. So I don't think that's bad. My decaf coffee in the morning, my iced coffee, which I desperately need today because I am hot. Even before I stepped on the treadmill, I'm just hot from the inside out. And I know many of you know what I'm talking about. So again, my 3rd attempt to sign off. I know this is getting long, I'm sorry. So again, good day, hour on the treadmill. I'm 14 minutes in, drinking my iced coffee, gonna have a great day, got a good plan going. At the end of the day, I'm gonna look back on the day, feel proud of myself, and I want that for you too. So no matter where you are in your day, I want you to look at the day. I want you to focus on what you want to get done today, make it realistic so that you can hit it. I know that's my biggest challenge for sure, lifetime long, still to this day, biggest challenge I have, being realistic about what a human can get done in a day. So I want you to make a realistic goal, and then I want you to hit it, and I want you to feel good about it. Then you'll be energized to start again tomorrow. Okay? So I will talk with you tomorrow, and see you next time.